in my life, I have always had the tendency to use too much of everything that I'm doing. This goes for food, this goes for alcohol, this goes for video games, this goes for working out, pre-workout, drugs, and even music. And I'm not happy with this. It's something that I've had for since my childhood, basically. And basically, without me noticing it subconsciously, this has been affecting my life every day for years already. And it's bothering me. I hate it. I hate this so much, but I don't know how to solve this. I don't know how to get rid of this. Um, One way that I noticed this, for example, I think like the first time I actually experienced this was probably with video games, with Minecraft or something. I used to always, of that this is pretty normal with children that they are addicted to video games, but as soon as I woke up, I would think about Minecraft. I would want to play Minecraft and I would want to play it for hours. And then as soon as my father or my mother told me it's time to quit now, you had your 30 minutes or 1 hour of Minecraft, I would say, oh no, let me just finish. Let me just play for one more minute, one more moment. And then I would basically want to play for hours. And whenever I was home alone and my parents told me that I was not allowed to play video games until they came home, I would still play it for hours. And then when they got home, they of course they knew. They knew. They always knew. And I would feel very guilty. And I knew that I should not have done this, but still I did it. And a lot of times during school, I wouldn't study for a test, for example, but I would play hours of video games. And yeah, fucking video games. I'm very happy that I got rid of that, fortunately. But there are a lot of things that I still do every day in my life that I still have this habit with. For example, take pre-workout. I made a recent video about my new pre-workout. It has DMAA in it. It's not healthy, or it's not a very healthy substance, and I believe it's not actually DMAA that is in the pre-workout, but DMEA. So it like a brother version, but still not healthy. And I said I used 1.5 scoops and I wouldn't be using it every day. Well, I did use it every day, and I did take 1.5 scoops instead of one. And right now, like a few hours ago, I went to the gym again and use 1.5 scoops again. And I'm feeling like shit personally. Like my, as I said in my pre-workout video, my brain feels like it's tangled up. My head feels very heavy. Like when I'm moving it around, it kind of hurts. My ears, they're constantly stuffed. And I think this is also caused by the pre-workout. And yeah, this is something that I've also had for years already. Taking too much pre-workout, taking it for way too long, for months and months in a row, making me an incredible caffeine addict. And whenever I tell myself, okay, today I won't use pre-workout anymore, I will take 1 month of no pre-workout so that my caffeine tolerance will get reset. Well, I just continue taking it and only make my caffeine tolerance worse. Same with alcohol. The first time I was ever was drunk was at a party of my best friend at the time. It was her birthday, and after only 1 hour of being there, I was already completely wasted. I was drunk like a fucking animal, and everyone else they weren't drunk, but I just drank so much. Now, of course, this was my first ever party. This was my first time ever being drunk, so okay, maybe it's acceptable. But a lot of parties afterwards, in the years following, I would always be the one who is drunk the first, who would drink the most, who would get the most drunk, who would be the drunk for the longest. And it's because there's something wrong in my mindset about things, basically, about consuming things. Same goes with drugs. It's not something I'm proud of, but it is something that I did for almost the entire year 2023 last year. I used drugs basically every month. And where my friends, they could be very, what's the word, disciplined with it, that they could only take like a little bit of drugs, like so that's just enjoyable, but not too much. I would always want to take more. I would always want to go harder. I would take too much. I had a few times where I almost overdosed, and every time after the party, I would say, I am never using drugs again. I am never using drugs again. I hate it so much. And well, guess what? 3 days later, I would think, ah, in a few weeks, I'll have a new party. What am I going to use? I'm going to use this. I'm going to use that. And with friends, I would always be discussing, oh, yeah, we're going to use it at that time. We're going to take an extra amount so we're going like fucking, I don't know, retard so hard. That hard. We're going, it's, fuck. I hate this. It's also something that I have with food, with binge eating. I'm I've always been a person who eats too much. I know this is negative self-talk and that my brain will believe this and that I will only reinforce this belief and this character trait, but for a very long time I have always been a person who eats too much. I always overeat. I eat multiple pieces of cake instead of one. I eat an entire pack of cookies instead of just one or two cookies. I it's it's a very destructive habit. And also, when I'm very disciplined following my diet, I can be very disciplined. Like, I have an all or nothing mindset. I can be super locked in. I will make insane progress, and then one day I'll just have a tiny cheat meal, a tiny meal that is not in my diet, which is not a problem at all. But then this switch inside of my brain got flipped and I would snap and I would completely stuff myself with whatever I can find, whatever there's in my sight. I would eat so incredibly much that my stomach would hurt. And even then I would continue because I was feeling like shit. And this is something I've had when I was a child, a few years ago, and even right now. Even, fuck, fuck, even today. My mother said she would make apple pie, which I think her apple pie is the best. And from this morning already, I've eaten a lot of things. I've eaten a lot of fruit. Now, fruit is not that bad, but I know that in the afternoon I'm going to have some carbs. So I think, well, might as well eat carbs the entire day. And instead of eating just one or two pieces of fruit, I would immediately start eating like 5 or 10. And yeah, this habit has effect on so many aspects of my life and I'm so fucking done with it. I hate this. I hate that I have this stupid character trait inside of me, but I don't know how to get rid of this. This is 100% caused by childhood trauma. I am sure of that. I already did some research about it, but I'm just I'm just clueless how to solve this. I it's I always get so jealous of other people when I'm talking with them and we're talking about diet, for example, or even using drug. I had this conversation with one guy in the gym recently. We were just discussing going to techno parties and using drugs, and he said, yeah, I only take like 2 pills max, which yeah, that's not too much. That's a pretty good amount. Whenever I would go, I would take 3 or even 4 pills, and I would also take some how the fuck do you say that? I would also take something extra, like 3-MMC, that's called, something that you sniff with your nose, and I would always take too much, and I'm like, how the fuck do other people? How what's different between them and me that they can just be disciplined and only use a small amount of drugs, which is not a good example, which they can only eat like or 2 cookies, for example, instead I would have to eat 10 or 20. They can just stick to taking in 1 scoop of pre-workout for an entire month and then quit for 1 month, where I would start day one with 1 scoop, and day two would be 1.5 scoops, and day three would be 2 scoops, and in 2 weeks my pre-workout is gone, it's empty, and then I would order a new one and continue using it for 2 or 3 months. How the fuck are the I'm at a loss, to be honest. It's Well, I can be I can sit here whining all day like, oh, they are they're favored or something. Like God has been grateful, great has been kind to them, and God has cursed me with this. Well, I can also think I'm going to turn this into something great. God damn it! I'm not going to whine here like a pussy, saying that I'm so I'm so sad and I'm so poor that I have this negative side inside of me. Well, no, I'm going to turn this into something great. Of course, I'm going to work on solving this trauma, but I'm also going to be trying to turn this into something good, where I can normally I can only I never have too much of something. I always need to take more of something. Maybe I can turn this into work, for example. I can start working and then work more. That's an example a friend of mine in the gym gave me. An example, an advice a friend of mine in the gym told me. He said, well, you can turn this into something that's favoring you. Working harder every day, going to the gym more, working harder in the gym, eating only healthy, eating more healthy. And if I can just get that inside of me, that I'm only eating healthy, that I'm always, how do I explain this? It's that I'm only, damn, I have this huge brain fart. God damn it, bro. It's a fucking pre-workout. I need to quit that shit, bro. Fuck this. I'm going to leave this in just so that you can see. But I know that I can turn this negative character trait into something good. I can turn this into something that favors me. So, yeah, I don't know exactly how. I'm going to be working on that the next few days, weeks, months, years. I don't know how long this is going to take, but I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix this and I'm going to change my whole belief system and my whole mindset. So, yeah, I'll definitely keep you updated when I find out about something new about this. So, yeah. Thank you a lot for watching this video. Probably a very weird video and a very personal video close to me. Um, it's very hard to actually share all these things with you because it is personal. It's very close to me, but I needed to tell you this. And yeah, thank you a lot for paying attention to this video. So, yeah, I'll see you later. Goodbye.